Hello everyone, this is Uncle Destiny back with you. It's time for us to see what we have for the month of February. As we move on this sort of rainy, wet day here in California, what the month of February holds for us, as it has been quite a time of shifts and change during this month of January. We're going to see what February holds. So let's go ahead and get the ancestors in and see what they've got to say. I want to remind you that this is a general reading. It means that it's covering a lot of things. So specific things, we have to talk more and do more of a focused reading. Otherwise, let's see what it holds for us all. Alrighty, so we have thrown the bones, and here is where everybody has laid. And we also have on the number 6 on our die, so showing what the house influence might be. And the 6th house is about health, fitness, organization, and active service. Now, that means a lot of what we're looking at in February is going to center around health. It's going to, and the thing is, health is also not just what we mean when we're talking about the body we live in, but also the health of our home, the health of our business, ultimately the health of our country. What is the fitness? How is it ready to do what is called for? Which leads into that sense of organization as well as the acts of service. How are we in a way that we can be in a healthy state so that we can do what we are needed to do when the time calls for it? That fitness, that how are we organized to be able to fulfill that? Now, that's what we're seeing with the dice. Now, when we also get the Adinkra pull, we've got the fufu, the seed of a plant, and it warns against jealousy and covetousness. And the particular saying with this is the fufu plant wishes is that the gunji seed should turn dark. The fufu plant wants to be the only one growing in that area. So what does that also influence with the aspect of, we're talking about health, we're talking about fitness, we're talking about organizations, and we're talking about acts of service. It's also talking and warning us about the aspects of jealousy. Where is jealousy affecting our health? Physically, emotionally, mentally, as well as in our state of our jobs, in the state of our homes, in the state of our country. Where is jealousy and covetousness affecting our sense of fitness? Are we going to extremes that maybe we don't need to? Or are there more extremes that we need to do but we're blind to because of the jealousy and the covetousness? As it is, California, I know, is going out of another lockdown because there's space that's being available in the ICUs. That means some ways we would say that fitness for us to be able to have more sick people is there. Is that really something we want? And again, is this being out of the standpoint of jealousy or covetousness? Then we also get into organizations. How are certain organizations, despite what they're doing, acting from a place of jealousy and covet? The responsibility, the prestige that comes with being able to do certain things. And how are our acts of service also being tainted by the idea of jealousy and covetousness? Another way to look at this, how are acts of service being taken over by the act of ego and the act of martyrdom, even though it's never really about what the actual service is. It's about the individuals who are doing it and they're looking good. So in the month of February, we have to be just very conscious of these things, because this is also part of the things that can take us backwards. We're making strides to move forward, but we really need to keep moving forward. And that forwardness is the fact that we can't keep operating from that place of jealousy and of covetousness. So we want to look at it and where they're coming up in these places of fitness, of health, of the organizations that we're part of, and that we depend on, and the acts of service we do not just for ourselves, but for those around us. So when we get to the bones here, we have these two of our main ones that are crossed here, and this is work and family, or social. Over here is home, and home's pretty much going to be there. It's going to be that sense of what are we doing to make sure our homes are fit, good weather tight? Are they ready for dealing with the spring when it comes in? Are they proving to be the best place for us? And are we making sure that they are providing us the base fitness to address the world in the day before us? So when we look at these here, as I said, these are going to be work and home and family. And this one here is the work bone. This one is the family/social bone. They're intertwined. And as I've said many times, our question is not, work is not just what we do to pay the bills and keep the house over our heads or keep the heat on. It's also what we're doing here as our purpose in life, the actions we have found that helps inspire us to enjoy life. I don't know how many people have seen the movie Soul, but one of the big things that's pointed out in that movie is not that our purpose in life provides us life. Life and the enjoyment of it helps us find purpose. And here again, the purpose, the work we are doing is part of that aspect of us enjoying life, the experience of being alive. And there's plenty of things supporting that. And we just need to be able to also let those things have flair, have a sense to be able to help us move forward in that aspect of we are here to enjoy life. We are here for the purpose of helping and enjoying the life and the world that we're in. Which brings us to the standpoint of what do we want for our world? What is making our world healthy? What is making our world fit? What is the organizational task and purpose that we're doing that helps those things? How can, through our acts of service, can we be healthier? How, through our acts of service, can we be more fit? How, through our acts of service, can we be more organized? This is part of our work. These are the questions to ask as we go through the month. And as I said, this is crossing over with the family as well as the social bone. So this is, what are we not just only doing with our immediate families or extended families? What are we doing with our social and communities around us, and by extension our countries? How are we making sure that we are operating from a place of health that is not jealousy? How are we operating and working from a place of fitness that is not jealousy based? How is our organizations operating, ensuring they're using their resources as efficiently possible that are not jealousy based? How are our acts of service? Again, I said before, things that are not caught in the elements of our ego and the sense of martyrdom that we're doing for our families as well as for our communities and societies at large around us. And we have, again, more of the support bones around that, but much more especially we've got, that's a balance bone there and a balance bone there, but we've got one of the spinal bones here, which is about what we think, and thinking is going to be very important. Now, why that's important is understanding what and why we're thinking. Are we, again, thinking from a place that is based off the ego, off of the place of jealousy, off of the place of covetousness? And why? Also see we've got one of the rib bones, and then we've got the broken one. And it's not making full connection to the spinal bone here. And that also means that there are certain supports that we're missing. That we're missing around this idea that what we're doing is for the social good, for our family good. And we need to really look at that. And that's stuff that's got to be done internally, which is also being supported here by the shell, which is turned inside, and we've got the internal aspects of it. So again, we really have to look at where is our jealousy and covetousness influencing, however subtly, what we are thinking about doing in our actions or we're dealing with others. So over here, we have the copper piece, which is next to a rib bone, and that is providing, again, inspiration from spirit, and inspiration from spirit is there. And it's going to come up with our memories. Now, as I've often said, the quartz piece is crystallized memory. It is a memory we can look at and turn and look at it from different angles. But why? Why is because if we live too much in the past, we never really get to enjoy the present. If we live too much in the past, we never find the potential of the future. And yet, the past also informs us about how we can enjoy the present and how we can enjoy the future. Again, as long as we are focusing on the potential, not the fear. Because when we work on the fear in these memories, we're feeding the jealousy and the covetousness. So it's putting those in their place and keeping them aware of how they are affecting our health, our fitness, our organizations, and our acts of service. So over here we have the spinal bone, and notice where it aligns is with the work. And there's potential new things that are going to be coming that we can use in our sense of work that can help our health, they can help our fitness, that help our organization, and help our act of service. But we need to be in a place to be open to it. And when we're dealing with the act of jealousness and covetousness, we're not open to those new ideas. As I was speaking with a client this week about the aspect of the difference between reaction and responding, one of the things I know I said is that reacting is not a connective action. Reacting is about taking care of just the immediate moment and yourself, which does not exactly mean that you're going to be operating with the best health, the best fitness, the best act of service. And the act of service is something that's got to come from the place of responding. And responding is a connective activity. So it's being consciously aware of how are you connecting in a healthy way? How are you connecting in a way that maintains the fitness of your relationships? How are we connecting in a way that makes sure our organizations can do the work they need to? How are we connecting into this act of service so that everyone is benefiting? Over here we have the broken rib bone, and it's just here at the base of this other rib bone. And the aspect of, can we find strength and purpose and inspiration from our pain, but not, again, get lost in that jealousy and that covetousness, that negative emotions, that ego, that false martyrdom that'll bring about bad health, bad fitness. So it's about the inspiration. Where is our pain inspiring us to be better? Where is the pain that is inspiring us for connection so that we are not operating purely from reaction? Where is the pain that means that we do not want to take that path again? So we've got a couple of spine bones over here. And again, this is the ideas, but they're at a distance, and they're things we have to keep a watch on. And as much as we are, again, working inside ourselves, we are also looking around. And we need to be on the lookout because there's stuff coming from March, and it's going to be big ideas. It's going to be bigger changes that can potentially come from it. So that's what we got we got the number 6 dice. And we've got the aspect of we need to watch against jealousy and covetousness as we move into February. And someone also pointed out that February is the time we celebrate Valentine's Day here in the States. Another time that is very much deeply associated also with the aspect of coveting a mate or jealousy about a mate. These aren't connective issues, things that bring us in connection with each other. They're things that tear us apart. There are things that get caught up in the ego. So when we deal with the February, we want to deal with what is connecting us, not what is separating us. And with that, I wish you well. I wish you a good Valentine's Day. Ashe.